Good morning. How are you? Happy Sunday morning. Happy Easter. I hope you're having a really good start to your morning because I surely am. I'm about to make breakfast, but before I do, I wanted to share with you what God gave to me last night. So last night, I was talking with the Holy Spirit, and as I was talking, I received a vision. And the vision was this: I was at work and I was receiving a lot of um, awards and all kind of accolades and and recognition for some achievements that I did in my program, right? So you know how, there's standards and quotas and things of that nature. Well, although I didn't make them, I came super duper close and made a whole lot of improvements from my past predecessors. And so everybody was just kind of like raving over the improvements. So I was getting it week after week for a couple of weeks. And the last award I had received, I just felt like I don't deserve all this praise and thanks because I didn't do this by myself. It was a lot of people who helped me get here. And so I want to thank them. And so I went to my boss and I said, you know what? I want to do something special for these people. And I told her who, like all these people who helped me. They didn't have to do it, but they participated and helped me more than they know. And so I want to throw a little party for them, whether it be here at the clinic or whether it be at my house. But I want to throw a party and, give them a couple of gifts, just to say thank you and I appreciate you for, you know, all that you've done to help me achieve the things that I really wanted to achieve in the program. And she said, or we can do it at my house and I can do this and I can do that. And as she's talking, I'm like, why is she trying to hijack my idea? Why is she trying to take over my plan? Like, and so I was like, you don't care about these people. You had weeks, just like me, to say thank you. And now because I'm telling you I want to do it, you want to do it? And so I'm like, I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. If you want to do it, you go ahead and do it. You do your party at your house and say thank you. I'll just give away, the cards and gifts that I wanted to give away. We'll do it like that. And so she's like, well, help me put together a list of things that everybody can bring. And I said, bring? I wasn't doing a potluck and having them bring stuff to their thank you, to their party. I was having everything catered. So whether it was here, whether it was at my house, I was paying for everything. And she was like, oh, because she couldn't do it. And so she was like, well, you know, you go ahead and do it. You go. I said, no, you do it. Yeah, you got it. You want to do it? I just didn't. So anyway, I ended up doing it. And the next thing you know, everybody loved it. And then the next thing you know, I was saying goodbye. I was like, oh, it was so good working here. Thank you so much. I, I hope y'all give the next person the best help and the best support. And you know what? Thank you. And, you know, I left. I went to a new position, new job, new whatever. And so I was done with the vision and I was just like, oh my God, I can't stand it when people try to hijack, your ideas, your conversations and all kind of stuff. Like people just hijack. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't even use this word. So God, what you want me to know? Right? Because I know when it's God, when certain stuff like this is going on, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even talk like this. God, what are you trying to say? So he took me to John chapter 12. And we were just in this book for Palm Sunday, last Sunday. where we read, I think, verse 9 through 12. But this was where Jesus was, what they knew Jesus was coming to town. So they took the palm leaves and was throwing it at his feet and stuff. So, but God had me reading verse 1 through 8, I believe. And this is the infamous story where, well, Jesus is in Bethany and he is where Lazarus was raised, right? So they're giving him a dinner and Lazarus is there. And this is where Mary Magdalene took the alabaster box and broke it and put the ointment on Jesus' feet, and he cleaned his feet with her hair. And Judas was there. And Judas was like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Do you know how expensive, how much money you could get for that oil, and you putting it on his feet? Are you crazy, lady? You could have gotten the money and helped the poor with that. And even the writer of the book was like, hey, Jesus didn't care about no poor. He was worried about the money. He was the man with the money bag, right? And so he didn't really care about the poor. But the funny thing was, Jesus was like, will you shut up? Leave her alone. She know what she doing. She know why she saved this. She saved it for my burial. So she's fine. You leave her alone. Because you know what? You gonna always have the poor with you. Right? But you ain't always gonna have me. So we ain't gonna worry about them right now. Let's worry about me, right? Let's stay focused. And so I just thought it was so funny. And so I was like, yeah, I was just praying like, oh my God, that was just so good, because a lot of people would have thought that was offensive when he said, you always gonna have poor people with you. And we ain't worried about them right now. You always gonna have them. You ain't always gonna have me. And that just stood out to me. But anyway, I said, let me look up the word hijack, because you know how you can think it means one thing and it really don't, or it means something totally different, or have a different meaning to it. So I wanted to look it up, and the definition just kind of blew me away. So it was basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing, like the capture, the seizure of something got seized, something got captured, right? But it's something that's in motion. It has to be in motion. It has to be like a moving car, a plane, a train, a boat, something that's moving, to be hijacked. If something is parked and not run, that just means you're a car thief, right? You just a thief. You just stole a car, you just stole a plane, because it was parked, it wasn't moving, it wasn't you know what I'm saying? But it has to be something moving to be hijacked. And God said, you're moving. And the devil knows it. So he's going to start sending hijacking spirits to try to get you off course, right? They're going to try and steal your ideas, steal your plans, steal and steer conversations to go in a different direction for their own personal use, because that was the definition of hijacking. Like they stealing stuff for their own personal use to take in a different direction. And the devil is sending hijacking spirits to change your course. But God is not going to let that happen. So I immediately began to pray for heightened discernment and wisdom and so many other things, not just for me, but for all of God's people, because we are in motion and we are at a fast pace. And what he showed me was this, and I thought it was so cool. Have you ever been on the highway or anywhere on regular roads, it don't matter, and you found yourself speeding, but it didn't even feel like it? Have you ever been on the highway and the speed limit was 70, and you okay, you cruising on 70, and then the next thing you know, you look down and you're at 90, and you're like, oh my God, let me slow down. I didn't even know I was going that fast, because it didn't feel like it. It was just so smooth and everything was good. The traffic, everybody was flowing together, and you could just, and everything was good, and it didn't even feel like I was going 90. You know how you're in a plane, And the plane is just, but you know, this plane is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You know, we're actually going fast, but it don't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. And so God has got us going at a fast pace. We are trucking, we moving, and the devil is trying to hijack our movement, going in the direction of elevation. And he's trying to steer it, right? And it doesn't matter how small of a hijack it looks like it is. Just like with Mary, where God, you know, had her hold that box for a time, for a period, for that day, you know. So are we. So we have that same thing. So God, even though it was a party that I was trying to throw, that party was significant. I needed to throw that party to say goodbye. That was a part of, that was because I had to say a quick goodbye. So they couldn't throw me a party. So if I didn't throw that party, it would have been, it could have caused so many other, a trickle effect of something negative. But I needed to throw the party for people to see how genuinely grateful I was, how much they meant to me, and they needed to know this before I moved on. So they could continue to support the next person, to see that what they did was significant, you know, because nobody told them in the past that it was. And so even though it was a small thing, it was necessary to continue to move on. And so God is going to have us doing, we have small tasks that might seem small, but it has a huge impact on our next level. And the devil knows it. And he's sending these hijack spirits. So you're going to find a whole lot of people who's going to try and hijack your ideas, who's going to try and hijack your plans, who's going to try and hijack even conversations. You can be in a meeting and they can try to hijack it and steer it in a different direction. So now the focus is no longer on the point that needs to be made, but on them and what they want, to where nothing gets resolved for you and it's still a problem. So you can still remain because you need to take care of something so you can move on. And I'm like, wow. So I immediately began to pray for discernment, heightened discernment, spiritual king visibility, king hearing, king understanding, you know, just to be able to know when somebody is trying to hijack me and my movement. And so I just thought that was incredible. I want you to be aware and just know when God puts something in your heart to do something and you really feel like, I need to do this, that's God. That's God. And when you find the devil come and try to say, don't worry about it, I'll do it. Nope, nope, nope. You better understand that's a hijacking moment. So don't be deceived now. Don't be deceived. Don't be fooled. You really have to be as wise as a serpent and humble as a dove. So this is the time that you have to be really aware of what the tactics and the tricks of the enemy is, you know, because again, he's trying everything to really stop us from, you know, moving forward into what God has for us, because he knows, you know, time's up, you know. And so I'm excited on today. But anyway, I think I talked a little bit longer than I wanted to. Let me go ahead and get myself together because I got church and everything to attend. But I love you so much. I hope this blessed you. And I probably won't come back today with another word. I don't know. But, you know, if I don't, you know, I'm going to talk to you later. Love you. Bye.